From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, August 7th, 2014. Silver is trading at $19.94 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,304 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $585. Antiwar.com reports, as the world reacts to the horror at footage of the carnage in the Gaza war, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was defiant, defending the massive civilian death toll of Israeli attacks as entirely justified and proportional. Netanyahu went on to claim that the attacks on UN schools, full of civilians, were not only appropriate, but that it would have been a moral mistake to not attack those schools because it would have given Hamas de facto permission to launch attacks from those schools. Not attacking the schools and killing scores of innocent refugees, Netanyahu argued, would hand enormous victory to terrorists everywhere and would have aided groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. He went on to demand that the international community push Hamas for child sacrifice charges for the 460 children Israel killed in attacks, saying that not punishing Hamas would legitimize them. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Coinbase. Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. I trust Coinbase. You should too. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. That's coinbase.fppradio.com. USA Today reports the Department of Justice and Bank of America have reached a record settlement in principle in which the bank will pay just under $17 billion to resolve allegations related to fraudulent marketing of mortgage-backed securities that helped cause the nation's economic crisis, according to an official with knowledge of the negotiations. The tentative deal, reached July 30th during a night telephone conversation between Attorney General Eric Holder and Brian Moynihan, CEO of the nation's second-largest bank, surpasses a similar $13 billion settlement with J.P. Morgan Chase last November, according to the official, who is not authorized to comment publicly. Last week's telephone call, the official says, came as justice officials in New Jersey prepared to file a complaint against Merrill Lynch, a unit that Bank of America acquired during the financial crisis. The official says the bank then requested the call with Holder and subsequently raised its payment offer to reach a tentative settlement. Although there is an agreement in principle on the value of the deal, the official said there are other issues that have yet to be resolved, and it could be days before any public announcement is made. A second government official briefed on the negotiations said the settlement is expected to include hundreds of millions of dollars in consumer relief to help struggling homeowners cope with their mortgages. The official, who also was not authorized to speak publicly because the negotiations are confidential, cautioned that final deal terms are not yet complete. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They now take Bitcoin for purchasing precious metals so you can turn your profits into a long-term investment. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing. 800-874-9760. Reuters reports U.S. President Barack Obama said on Wednesday that Ukraine did not need additional military assistance to fight insurgents in the eastern part of the country, but a Russian invasion would raise a different set of questions. Obama's comments came after NATO said on Wednesday that Russia had amassed some 20,000 troops on Ukraine's border and could use the pretext of a humanitarian mission to invade. At a news conference at the conclusion of a U.S.-Africa summit in Washington, Obama was asked whether the U.S. would reconsider sending lethal aid to Ukraine. Obama said, well, keep in mind that the Russian army is a lot bigger than the Ukrainian army, so the issue here is not whether the Ukrainian army has some additional weaponry, noting that the separatists had not been able to match the Ukrainian army's strength so far, despite causing a lot of violence. He added, now, if you start seeing an invasion by Russia, that's obviously a different set of questions. We're not there yet. The White House said Vice President Joe Biden spoke with Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko on Wednesday about the situation on the border with Russia. Obama said the United States would continue to work on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis to determine what Ukraine needs to defend itself against separatists who were supposedly backed by Moscow. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.